hello and welcome to the channel. It's been a while since I last posted a video, but we are back, and in this episode it's not so much a ride out anywhere. It's actually me just giving you some insight into how I'm going to go along with going for my R-Class open license. So I live in Australia, Western Australia, and we have a LAMS approved scheme, which is for learner approved motorcycles, and she nearly pulled out in front of me. And it's for learner approved motorcycles, so there's a listing of motorcycles that I'm allowed to ride from having an RE license, which is what you hold once you passed your RE certification. So once you pass your riding test here in WA, you go on to an RE class of license, and then after 2 years you can then go and apply for the R-Class open unrestricted license. However, my previous learner's permit that I had was on an older scheme where you only had to have your license for 1 year as an RE. Before then you could then go on to the R open class. However, I've not really had a need to do that, so I've just stuck with the 2-year period, really, because of what's going on in the world. We've not been travelling anywhere, so I've not had a need to have an open class license as such, or wanted one. But now, in the near future, we'd like to travel and go to places to have a motorcycle riding holiday, and then go and hire some bikes. It's harder to hire bikes with a restricted license, which ours is currently. So it's easier just to hire the bigger bikes. Pretty much everywhere has the bigger bikes, so it's just going to be easier to do that. Okay, so that's the background to it. Now, I've actually ridden along here. This is where I'm going to be practicing a few of my maneuvers. So I am going to be doing some U-turns, just U-turns on the road, just to turn the bike around, and then I'm going to do some quick stops. So I currently am riding with an instructor, not at this moment in time, but in the recent past. I have an instructor where I'm riding with to just iron out some mistakes, bad habits, certain things like that, just to get me refreshed with everything. And then I'm going to take my test. My test is in the very near future, around about 2.5 weeks away. But I think I'll be ready for then, and my instructor thinks I'm about 2 weeks away, so where I'm at should be a good time frame. I'm confident enough to do it. I just need to iron out a few errors, like I say. Okay, so back around this big loop here, and I'm going to do some U-turns here. I'll just go further along, away from the back of that road, away from the right hand side here of this entrance exit up the other road there. I tend to do the maneuvers for the U's just a little bit beyond here, just by these trees on the left and the right. Okay, so first attempt, nothing coming behind me, and clutch control, foot down. I just jerked my clutch then. That was the first attempt. Okay, then we'll go again. Okay, that's better. Go again. Clutch, accelerate, dipping clutch a bit, biting. That's all controlled and good. And again. It's actually not so easy to actually talk and do this at the same time. Maybe it's because I'm a bloke. Okay, so I'll just do several of these till I feel I've got to grips with it. That's not so bad. And because this is a restricted bike, I can't take that test on this bike for obvious reasons, because it's the lesser powered motorcycle. I'm saying lesser powered, it's actually 655 cc is this Yamaha MT-07. It's restricted, as said, and I have to take the test on my riding instructor's motorcycle, which is a Honda CBF 650F open, so that's no restrictions on that. So I've only had 3 hours, or 3 1-hour lessons as such with this chap, and just getting used to his bike. Okay, so I reckon I've got these narrowed down to being pretty competent. Okay, so I'll just go further along here. This is where I also test my quick stop skills. So on the right hand side here, where that bin is, and then this little concrete slab, I actually brake just here opposite that tree there on the right, and I'll just do some gentle quick stops. I'll do some around about 30k, and then up to 40k, and then 48k. I think that's the marker, 48 kilometers an hour for the test, to stop within 12 meters. I guesstimate that's about 12 meters from where I just pointed out. Okay, so my go. So I'm just in second gear here. I'm doing 33, 40 actually. Okay, so that was pretty good. Stopped in good time. On my last lesson, I think my instructor was actually happy enough with my quick stops. I got up to 48k and I was good. So I'm getting more confident doing the quick stops on his bike. I'm pretty confident doing them on my bike as well. Okay, so that was the first attempt. I'll do another 40-ish k, 35, 40k one, and then I'll get up to 48. There's a car just behind me here, so he's gone by, all good. Okay, so quick U-ey. There's a car behind, but they've passed by, all good. Okay, so quick stop again. 38, 43, 44. Wow, I'm going quicker than what I thought it would be. Okay, that's controlled. Happy with that. Nothing dived. The front end naturally dives anyhow, it would do, but not to the point where I'm losing control. Okay, so let's do another big U-ey around here. Conditions are nice and dry, as you can see. We actually are leaving, well, we've left winter behind, and we're at least midway through our spring here, oops, in Western Australia. So the drier weather should be here more consistently. Okay, so I'm doing 44, 45, that's about right. Oh, yeah. Panicking here with the dog over there. Okay, so I'm going to do some that dog's looking, wondering what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to do some more U-eys. Not always great when the sun is in your eyes as you do turns like this. I've got some shadow to work with as well, some darkness, shadows, so I'm not bang on in the line sight of that sun. I am now as I turn. That feels all controlled to me. So on the test you can be asked to do several of these, maybe half a dozen, in a controlled manner. I think it's 10 meters sort of along, so let's just pull up here. So from one point to the next point, 10 meters in distance to maneuver, and then go across the road 10 meters again and back round, and then doing like a U or O turn, constant O turns. Roughly half a dozen. Once that assessor's happy enough that you've got control of the bike, you're doing that, not putting your foot down, then you move on with the next assessment, next part of the assessment. So I actually went out the other day with my assessor down to the test centre area to do a run, just a dummy run, and it seemed to go okay. There's a few things I have to nail down. Head checks is a thing. I do head checks, but not definitely on traffic lights on intersections. So as I'm going across, I don't always check right and left as I'm going through them, and just checking that no one's running a red light. Little things creep in. I've had my license for 2 years, just over, so little bad habits creep in, or things you forget to do maybe. But anyhow, it's not good not to do your head checks, so definitely drilling on with that. After I've done a few practices here and done the quick stops, I'm just going to have a little ride up this place called North Beach, coming back down the coastal run. It's quite nice weather as well, so it should look good. Our regular road we use, and then I'll just make my way back home. But all the time I'm doing head checks and all the rest of it, so I've got to really knuckle down. I do actually have my assessment due for the 24th of November. Currently I think it's the 30th of October today, not checked, so about 3 weeks off, I think, maybe just under. Okay, so I'm going to do some more UEs, do some quick stops, and then just head back home via the coastal run. Okay. Okay, that was okay. That's all right. That's better. Good. One more round. And another. Okay. Happy with them. Alright, so I'll do a couple more quick stops. So we don't have anything booked overseas or anything as yet, but we did think if we did travel back to Europe especially, we'd like to ride on some of the Spanish roads, some nice rides there. Then that's what we're looking to do, but nothing booked and nothing planned as yet. Okay, so let's get up to about 45 and brake from that point. Just turning in second gear for that. Okay, so that was about 47k an hour, and I reckon end of this concrete on the left here is around that 12 meter mark. I haven't measured it out, but I'm guesstimating that I'm stopping within the given amount. Because if you look from this tree as I'll approach it, you'll see it from the camera here. So where that concrete ends, and from that tree where I brake from, I reckon that's about 12 meters. So I'll do a couple more. So 47, 48k. Okay, I reckon one more should do it. Now, on our test, you don't actually have the assessor saying this is the point where you brake from. He or she will indicate with a wave as to when they want you to brake. So you're anticipating them braking, but not knowing exactly when that will happen. So some assessors are here, they're very quick to actually put their hand up. No warning as such, it's just immediate, and you've got to react quickly, which is, I suppose, the idea of a quick or emergency stop. Okay, so second gear, 47, 48, 50k, 51, and obviously I don't want to be going beyond the 50 mark, because here would be a 50k limit, so well in with that. So for those interested in watching me prepare for my test, I'll probably upload a few other videos. Can't really upload any of my lessons because I don't think my riding instructor would particularly like that, and obviously I wouldn't be able to actually record the assessment on the day of the riding test, so I will just record what I can do. Now actually I have a little bit of a habit of maybe not positioning my bike in the best place as such. So I tend to have, the habit is that I tend to sit in P2 or the right hand side of this left hand lane quite often. Obviously there's hazards to my left, so that's the reason why I tend to be out that way. Oh, hills start coming up. Easy. So I tend to sit here, whereas really I ought to be over to the left side, because at this moment in time there's no hazards. Some cars coming up at the moment, but at the moment on the left hand side nothing's happening, and I'm sitting in the P1 or left hand side of the lane as per my riding instructor's suggestions. Also, you've got to indicate out of a roundabout here. Even though I'm going straight on, I must indicate out to let that other car know that that's my intention, that I'm going straight on. I've actually missed my turn with all that yabba. Okay, I'm just going to do a quick U here. I've missed at that roundabout. I should have turned right, so let's go there. Over to P2 because of that car on the left. Head checks. Wander over to P1, left hand side. All clear here, so I'll sit on the left. The reason as well as why I do this is that if you get a car behind you, they'll be tempted to overtake you. So my first riding instructor, the one I did to pass my RE license upon, suggested to like protect your lane as such, so you don't get people, right, you know, other cars trying to just sneak past you unnecessarily. So I suppose different riding instructors have different perspectives and ideas on how to position your bike. End of the day, you need to be positioning it into an area where it's going to be safe and seen, basically. Unfortunately, I didn't indicate left then to come up this here, so that would have been some points docked, I believe. And also my instructor says that you can actually get a fine from the coppers if they see you do that, not indicating out from a straight on from a roundabout, let's say. I will be briefly just touching on to a sort of a dual carriageway type of road before too long. It's quite windy this afternoon. It's later on in the afternoon actually. I actually haven't said the date because I'm not sure what it is, so I normally when I do my introductions to the videos, I'll tell you the date and day and the temperature. So we're in towards the end of October. Current temperature is 21 degrees. I think it's the 30th of October, and the time currently is 18 minutes past 4. So yeah, I've been riding for 2 years. I'm very much a conservative rider. I'm not a speed merchant. So staying in P1 here, left hand side of the lane. I don't know what the road speed is here, so I've got to assume it's 50. So heading westerly towards the ocean now. Head checks, head checks, head checks, left and right. This actually merges into one lane now. Head check over, indicating 60 kilometers an hour. You can tell I'm from the UK, instantly going to the miles per gallon. Miles an hour, gee. So theoretically I could be in lane or P1 here, because there's any hazards on the left hand side as I go along here. But I just think it encourages a car behind to actually sneak up and try and overtake. Alright, so make sure I indicate coming out of this and onto this road, even though I haven't changed lanes. Head check. Indicate left, exit. Indicate. And I'm actually thinking out aloud as well. So I'm staying over into P2 here. To me there's more hazards on the left hand side of the road with the parked cars than in the middle. Big median strip as well in the middle here to create a bit of a space between cars and traffic and bikes, etc. One thing my riding instructor does say as well is to actually speed up to the relevant speed limits, pretty much. I'm a little bit slow taking off apparently, and getting up to the desirable speed. Along here I know for certain that it's a 50k zone, so I'll just cruise along in 4th gear and stay around the 47 to 50k mark. Now I'll talk about the bikes I am considering to buy. I do. There's only 2 bikes really, and the sort of adventure type of motorcycles. One being the Suzuki V-Strom 1050 XT, so it's actually 1037cc, and not exactly an off-road adventure bike. I don't want off-road exactly, I just want something that I could go down a gravel road if need be, if the roads are a bit dicey, because some of our roads in Australia can get a bit iffy. They can just be dirt tracks. If you've watched my ride to Mundine, take a look at that. That was a definite track, and not a good experience for me at the time. So take a look at that. The other motorcycle I'm looking at is a Triumph Tiger 900 GT, and that is an 888cc displacement. So again, I'm not one for speed or anything, so it doesn't matter which type of engine I'm going to go for. I wouldn't certainly go for that Suzuki just because it's a bigger engine. I would go with what rides the best. So there are the two motorcycles I'm going to actually try and do some road tests on, see how they ride, see how they feel, how uncomfortable they are. Price wise, believe it or not, that Tiger, Triumph Tiger is about $350 cheaper than the Suzuki V-Strom. Not sure why, and there's a lot more plastics on that Suzuki, what puts me off slightly, whereas the finish on the Triumph has more metal. So I haven't made my mind up yet, but I seem to be erring towards that Triumph because the couple of big ticks is the weight wise as well. It's actually about 25k lighter is the Triumph to the Suzuki. So you know, oh, truck got the wrong gear there. So yeah, there's just a couple of things what seem to be edging towards the Triumph. So head checks right and left over those traffic lights. That's something I have to make sure I do because A, it's good for safety, and B, I just need to have it obviously drilled and nailed down for my riding test. Otherwise, I think they'd even fail you for doing something like that by not checking. I'm not sure of the exact score sheet, how they mark it, but I'm only allowed to drop, I think it's 3 3/4 points. Anything more than that's a fail. There is some instant fails, like not stopping at a stop sign. If you only give way and come out at a stop sign, that's an instant fail. I suppose doing really stupid stuff like going on the wrong side of the road somewhere, that's an instant fail. Maybe speeding as well, constant speeding, that'd be a fail I would have thought. Alright, so I'm not actually that far from home now, so I will bid you farewell. Thank you for watching. For the regular subscribers and who have stuck with the channel, thank you very much. There'll be some new content coming up in the near future, this video being first of hopefully many again. And if you've only come to the channel just now, welcome. Thanks for watching. If this content is of any interest to you, by all means please hit that subscribe button, it does help. But thank you all for watching this video. I will be putting some more sort of progress videos up, a bit more history to how I do obtain my, hopefully obtaining my R-Class license in the very near future. Okay, so thanks again, bye for now.